All right, everyone. Good morning. So it's coming up on 8:30 here, and we do have some action already today. You can see we've got a little bit on QNGY. This one is still on watch. It's got a high right now of 825. The float's a little higher, but it's a recent SPAC, special acquisition company. So it's in the sector that's been hot right now. The only thing about this is that it's a bit extended. Float's 110 million shares, a little higher, and it's already shown that there's been a bit of a wall at around 820. There was a wall previously at about $7, but it finally broke it and squeezed right up to 8, but then there was another wall at 8. So this one seems to have walls of sellers, and they're kind of big, which is interesting. So I've been streaming already for about an hour and a half for Warrior Pro students and have put together some profit. So I'm at about $19,280 on the day already. Reminder for those tuning in on YouTube for the morning show that my results are not typical. Trading is risky and most beginner traders lose money. So you should trade cautiously and trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line and not try to blindly follow me or anyone else. I'll do the best I can to articulate as I'm trading, but I'm doing two things at once. I'll do the best I can, but you have to make sure you manage your risk. Take your trades as you will. Just be smart about it. So yeah, QNGY is the leading gapper. I've said QNCY a couple times. Quanergy is the name of the company, Quanergy Systems. But QNCY is easier to say than QNGY. I don't know. So if I say QNCY, I mean QNGY. So my apologies there in advance. So Quanergy, a weird name. High is 825. So it's one to keep an eye on right now. I'm concerned it's going to flush because it's got this sell resistance up here. And if it breaks, it might break just by a couple cents and then flush. So for right now, it's a little extended on the 5-minute, waiting for a bigger pullback. This is very predictable. I'm not surprised at all to see that. So that's fine. NRGV, second leading gapper right now. Float on this one, not listed. It's not as high as 110. NRGV. This is a recent SPAC as well. So this one has already provided some opportunity this morning on this squeeze right here. Had a nice move at 4 a.m., but that was 4 a.m. ISPO from yesterday. So this one squeezed up to $108 a share. Pretty wild, right? $108 a share. It just kept going. Now it squeezed up really like 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 green candles in a row, halts down, gaps down. And from there, some people said, you know what, that's it. That was the front side of the move. This is the back. Nothing else to trade. Well, hold up. This thing curled and ripped right through the high. And then we got some action. We got a halt down, bounced right back up, got over 100. So we got some great action on it yesterday. I was impressed. So I'll clear my drawing tools on it for today. Right now, it is down about 20%. So it has pulled back a bit. It's still worth watching, but it's pulled back a bit. And the volume is light as traders kind of just wait to see whether or not it's going to provide more long. I mean, doesn't even have 100,000 shares of volume yet. It's got a 4-point spread, and traders right now are probably just wondering, is there still someone short that's going to try to cover? Because if they try to cover, there's not a lot of volume. So that covering, especially if they cover at the ask with a 4-point spread. So let's say a broker forced a covering, but I don't think they probably would, because if they didn't yesterday, it's lower by 20% than it was yesterday. So I'm not sure that you're going to get auto liquidation pre-market at this price range. Probably not. But it's worth keeping an eye on. So that's on a side chart. Up high, ISPO, ANGH was also strong yesterday. Recent SPAC, same sort of non-catalyst catalyst. It was just technical in that it was similar to ISPO. That was it. And that was what gave us a lot of momentum yesterday. Recent IPO, recent reverse splits, which we've seen over the last few months have been really hot, and it culminated with ISPO yesterday. So I might as well grab a screenshot of ISPO. I hadn't already grabbed one for the classes, but you think about the move we had on DRYS. This was years ago, where it topped out at $117. It took a couple days. This thing in one day went from $14 to 108. I mean, that's really impressive. So this definitely goes in the archives of parabolic momentum. I made money on it, but I didn't make a lot because I didn't trade it as early in the day as I could have. I sort of sat on the sidelines. The volume was really light. I was sort of just like, I don't know. I'd had 2 red days previously, so I was a little cautious. But this eventually convinced me to jump in, and I did, and then just kept trading it. I traded all the way till about 4:30 yesterday. So that was the longest day of trading that I've had in quite a while. But it was worth it. And it was the right type of day to dig deep. So 29.41, that was a critical spot, reclaiming its pre-market high, and then this first pullback right there at 31.46. That was for the first move up. And then the second, it was the break over 50, right around here. The halt up, the dip, the halt down, bounced off that level. Yeah, good action overall. Let's see. So I'm going to grab a screenshot of this one. The 1 minute chart, IPO, parabolic, 1 minute. So we'll add those to the classes for Warrior Pro students. Okay. So yeah, NANGH, sympathy momentum. That's just the definition right there. Pure sympathy momentum. Nice action. It was a little tricky, but overall pretty good. So I'm not really sure that I'll trade that one. I mean, I probably won't trade ISPO or ANGH again today unless ISPO gets closer to 100. We'll see. SPO, sympathy. So we had this one, which was a recent IPO. QNGY, let me pull this back up. So I took it off my radar for a second there. It's below VWAP. VWAP is at 734. So it needs to get back above VWAP to look better. Sometimes, down in these areas could be a good dip opportunity just to buy the dip, but it's a dip below VWAP. It's not my favorite. It's going to have resistance coming back up. So we'll see. CPTN, crazy. Yep, similar setup. This thing went from $10 to 80. Several halts in a row going up, pulled back. So yeah, that was impressive. Doesn't have a lot of volume yet. Is another one just to keep on watch, just in case, And yesterday it made that huge move on very light volume, which was pretty wild, but it did. So yeah, you've kind of got a little bit of ascending support down here. I don't know if you have resistance, and the resistance level is kind of like there. I don't know. So, but just like ISPO, the spreads are bigger. QNGY. It's a tough one for me. Selling off a bit more. And that's kind of what it did earlier today. It's hit 744, dropped all the way to 5, rallied back up. Now it's pulling back again. NRGV, I'll take a trade on that. And I'll add at 75 and 85. So here's the thing on this one. This is a break of VWAP. Now watch for an add over $20.25. Added at 20. I'm going to be aggressive on this. Let's see if we get to move back up to 21. So I'm going to allow myself to increase share size on this, add at $20.06. Now looking for 2050. There's 2039, holding 2,000 shares, new order, going in here, increasing share size. Let's see, 15,000 shares. Nice break of VWAP. I chased it, but thank you. 2039, new order. 1,500 shares. Watching dip. The holding right now, added at 82 on the dip, 92. Looking for the break back over $20.10, and then 2015, 2039. Added again at 90. Looking for first 1 minute candle to make a new high. So the break back over VWAP is bullish. The first 1 minute candle, first micro pullback is always important to watch. Now we're looking for the break back through 20, $20.10, first 1 minute candle to make a new high. So let's watch this back over 20. Orders ready to add at 20. Watching to buy dips, added at 49 to buy the dip. This is a bottoming tail candle. And then I want to catch the pop back up through 950, 960. First 1 minute candle to make a new high is going to be around 975. It's very common for them to retest VWAP. That's okay. Now the add is 75 and 85. Watch up here. This is the perfect bottoming tail right now. Order is at 20, so I can add at 75, 85, and 95. So right now, we're getting the 1 minute setup. Added at 75. I'm going to add at 85. And we're looking for the curl over $20. First 1 minute candle to make a new high. Bounce off VWAP. There's 78. There's 80. Look for 90. And let's see if this wants to curl through $20. My order is at 80 to add. I'm going to move it up to 90. So watching right here, $19.80. Added right there, 75. There's 80 on the ask. There's 85. Added at 80. Now look for the break of 20. So I want to size up on this for the break of 20, and then the target is $20.50. So watch that first 1 minute candle to make a new high. We're up 77%. This one's our leading gapper right now. Looking for that curl through 20. So, this is the type of price action that we like seeing in a hot market. I want to see the curl through 20, $20.25, 20.50. We've got 69 on the ask. My average is 72. Still room to add at 75 and 85. Orders going up at 95. Watching to add back 85. So we're looking for that break through 20. First 1 minute candle making a new high out of this wedge. Holding 5,000 shares right now. 1967 on the ask, 65. And this is what we saw earlier today as well. We saw resistance around these levels, and then when it broke, we got these big breaks. So holding 5,200 shares right now. We're in a wedge. Going flat on it for now. We'll look to add on dips off the VWAP. I'll give it a certain amount of time, but it should have broken. It should have broken already. It should have broken on that candle right there when it hit 96. Dip trade at 1904. Trying to buy the dip off the VWAP. So these dip trades are with smaller size. There's 1964 on the ask. Look at that. My average is 1903. So my feeling on these is that it's important to have a willingness to take the loss and then get back in, reposition. I want to try to be a little patient and give them room, but at the same time, at this point now we're getting into a 5-minute setup. So it might make sense to wait for the 5-minute setup. Still holding at 1903. ISPO charts up there, ANGH, have it on watch. High volume was on that candle. So we got one nice rip there from 18 to 20, but I got in a little high, and then we topped out at 20.39. Got a double bottom there. Still pretty early. Watching it add 1857 buy order. This is the volume weighted average price. No fill at 1857 on the bid. Tried it, but no fill. So right now, I want to be patient. Having a hard time knowing for sure which one is the one. ISPO. Still hanging out around the same price. CPTN. It broke over 33.50. Could look for a move back up to 43. Needs a lot more volume. NRGV. QNGY. Needs to get back over VWAP. High volume on green candles is good. Dip trade at 1860. Trying to buy the dip off VWAP. only going with small size, 1863 average. This is psychological support at 1850. So stop right around the VWAP. We'll see if we get that curling. Right, so it's a nice trade. We'll hold it right now. Took half off the table, 1932. So the risk on that trade was about 13 cents. And at 63, stop was 1850. So our target would be a retest of 2350 ultimately. I don't know if we go that high, but we'll see. Those tuning in on YouTube for the morning show would super appreciate it if you guys all hit the thumbs up real quick. Just take 2 seconds, hit the thumbs up. Lets the YouTube algorithm know that this is a video worth recommending to someone else. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So we came down to the VWAP down to the 20. We're starting to base out a little bit. Let's see if we break higher. My average is 1927. I just added back. I'm just starting to get positioned on this. We still have a few minutes before this 5-minute candle closes. So taking a little profit at the $0.50, taking a little more profit at 65, taking a little bit more at 62. So taking some profit as it goes a little higher. Not a huge winner, smaller share size. Starting to get dialed in for first 5-minute candle to make a new high, but we'll see. Dip at 1915, bought the dip. Now let's see if we pop back up to 1945, 1950. So I'm more interested in actively trading it when it's proving that it's able to hold the VWAP. So watching for the break back over 1950. First 5-minute candle to make a new high would be 1975. Back to flat for now at 26. I don't love that red candle right there. I wish it wasn't red. So we're on a bull flag here on the 5-minute chart. We're above the volume weighted average price. Added back at 29. Let's see if we get the break through 1965 and 75 for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. So new orders to add would be 55 and 65. My average right now is 38. Added at 55. Now I'm going to look to add at 65 and 75. We're setting up a 5-minute, added at 65. Now 85. Now let's look for the breakthrough 20. This is a 5-minute time frame. So holding full position and looking to keep adding 85, 95 for the breakthrough 20. We've got a 5-minute bull flag right now. So next add is around 75 and 85. When I see green on the tape, that's when I add. 1990, orders at 20. Green on the tape, adding at 77. Adding at 87. Now looking for the squeeze up over 1995. And let's see if we get that quick break through 20. If we do, we want to see a retest of $20.39. Watching for an add at 94. Looking for the break, adding right there 95. There's 20. There's $20.01. New order goes at 2010. Average is 65. So we tapped 20, bought the dip at 61. So a quick dip trade there. There's 70. I took half off the table in the 90s, holding right now 2,000 shares at 65, adding at 64. Looking for the pop back up to 75. Holding 3,800 shares. So what I'm looking for on this is a retest of 20. Our 5-minute is still okay, but clearly the 1-minute is pulling back. Holding 1,800 shares. Added at 41, buying the dip. Average is 50. So it's rejecting that $20 level. So getting out break even at around 50 for now. Gave back a little bit of profit. I didn't look to see how much I was up. Dip trade at 19. That's a dip off the VWAP again. Looking for 19. There's there at 1935. Let's see if we get a little higher than that. 1923. Decent. Nice dip trade. IPSO curling. So, you know, just actively trading the range. Not trading with big size right now, but getting a little bit here and there. Yeah, I see that. Big spread still. ANGH has slightly more volume, and it certainly has better spreads. Only a 55-cent spread versus a $4 spread. But ISPO is really the one to focus on. ISPO needs to go. So I can watch both of them. We'll see what happens, but volume is very light. NRGV has got 4 million shares of volume. ISPO is probably like 100, 200 share positions at its current price and spread. NRGV, dip trade at 81. Buying the dip off the VWAP again. So average is 81. Sold half at 1904 for 24 cents, 25 cents. Just catching those little bounces off the VWAP. Just holding small size in NRGV for now. So we've got some descending resistance that's going to be around 100. I don't know if I really see anything there. Hard to tell. Well, I usually do buy the dips on the ask. Sometimes I will put an order on the bid if we have a big spread and see if I can get filled. And you could set a hotkey if you wanted to, like control shift B or something like that to put an order on the bid. You certainly could try something like that. A lot of times my orders on the bid won't fill though. You know, so that's kind of annoying. If I really want to get in, I usually will have to buy the ask. Those just getting tuned in on YouTube for the morning show, I want to remind you, as always, that trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money, and I encourage you to trade cautiously. I'll put my disclaimer up there. I really appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up. Let's see if we can get over 1,000 thumbs up here for this morning show. So NRGV still holding small size. Now we have a bit of a messy ABCD pattern. I say it's messy because this candle, which marks the high, was higher volume and red volume, red candle. Not my preference. But up about 50 cents on the dip from 1881. There we go. So the attention right now is definitely still on recent IPO, SPAC, recent SPACs. QNGY coming back up to the VWAP. Yeah, so that's true. So yesterday ISPO had that squeeze like right going into the open. That's kind of when it happened. So it was like 9:25 or whatever. So we still have 30 minutes to the bell. I think being able to stay alert to see if something does show something like that is important. We'll hear it most likely hitting the scanners. And I did see ISPO yesterday, but when I pulled it up, I thought, spreads are a little big. I don't know. So today I'd probably be a little bit more aggressive based on the action we saw yesterday, right? That's good to note, Karen. Thank you. Nice on NRGV, still holding small size from 1881 dip. Now you're coming up to the high here of 2039, and the question, no doubt, is will it break that level, or is it going to run into that as a double top resistance? Took a little more off the table there at 36. So we'll look to add back. So 2039 is our double top. New order goes at 2040. If we can break through this level, then we've got room back to 23, right? 24. Dip trade at $20.06. Trying to buy the dip off of previous psychological support and then put the order at 2050 so I can add for a breakthrough this high. This is the first added there at 40. Next add 65 and 75. Now let's look for that squeeze up to 21. So I'm going to add at 75 there, 85 there. I'm going to add at 21. And and I'm going to look for a squeeze now up to 2150. Watching for the add. Added right there at 21. Holding 7,000 shares. Added at 92. Looking for the break at 21, then 2110. Holding 4,000 shares. Watching for a dip. Added at 98. We got a break through 2115. Added at 8. Now looking for the break at 2115 to start to pull away up to 2125. New order 2125. Profit at 07. High of this candle is 2110. 2115 is the new order. Added at 21. Looking for the break through 2115. Starters 1,500 shares. So nice break of $20.39. That was our technical level. Now watching over 2115 for the move up to 2125. I want to see if this starts to accelerate a little bit more because it is the leading gapper. Added at 75 to buy the dip. So NRGV is our leading gapper. Pre-market high was 2350, so that's a natural psychological level to be thinking about. Watching over 2115 for a move to 2150. This stock does trade well and respects half dollars and whole dollars. Added at 95 there. So looking for the pop back through 2115. There's 2104. Holding 4,000 shares. Looking for an add at 21.9. Can hold over the half dollar or the whole dollar. 2103 on the ask. Holding 3,400 shares, but added back at 2105 and 15. Now looking for 2125. So let's watch for that squeeze up to 2125. It's starting to pull away from the whole dollar. Next add is 2118. Bid stack there, good. Watch 2115. Flat. Should have held that level right away. Watch for another dip trade. Added at 70 to buy the dip and 59. So dips on the way down. Look for the pop and curl back up to 21. There's 88 on the ask. Average is 80. $86 on the bid. There's 88, 89. Got about 20 minutes to the bell. Added at 60 to buy the dip. 39 is previous support. So now we're watching for first 1 minute candle to make a new high. And a break back over 85 and 95. High of this current candle's in the 70s, I think. So watching 75 and then 85. We're up 85% right now. Added right down there, 54. Trying to buy the dip off of 39. So we're looking for that first candle to make a new high and then the next wave back up. So there we go. There's some green. So now watch over 85 and 90. So let's see how much this wave gives us. We're looking for first candle to go green on the 1 minute chart. Watching for ads at 85. for the break back over 21. So this candle high is 80. So I'm looking for the break of 80. First 1 minute candle to make a new high. Added at 78 for the first 1 minute. There's 91. Good. Can we get back through 21 though? Holding 1,700 shares. Average is 69. Got a little profit at 88. Flat at 67 for a 2-cent loss on the rest. New order goes at 21. 1,500 shares. Those tuning in on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up. Let's see if we can get to 1,500 thumbs up here in the next couple minutes. While you guys take a minute to hit the thumbs up, I'll take a minute to remind you, as always, that trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money, and my results are not typical. So I would discourage you from blindly following me or anyone else. This is an opportunity to learn more about momentum trading. If you want to learn more, you can go to warriortrading.com/strategy. That page has a link where you can register to a free workshop that I teach. You can read about my momentum trading strategy as much as you'd like. Dip trade here at 38. Buying the dip off the 20 moving average on NRGV. So this type of dip trade, again, a bottoming tail right off the 20. Looking for the pop back over 2050. I want to see this prove to me that it can hold 2039. 2009 was the bottom of that candle. 2009 is the 20 moving average. We've got about 15 minutes to the bell. So I want to see if this base is here and then curls off the 20. 20's been pretty well respected so far today. Looking for the pop back up over the $0.50. Got 44 on the ask. So 44 on the ask and then 60, which makes me think that this could pop pretty quickly back up to 60. See, look at that. See how fast that popped right back to 60? And, you know, that's reading level 2, reading the tape. So back down to small size for now. Double bottom would be 2008. ISPO. You know, right now it's incredible because yesterday I had 12 million shares of volume. Today, less than 200,000 shares of volume. So, you know, yesterday it was hot. Yesterday traders were excited. Today traders said, well, what's there to trade? It's not moving enough. It's not doing anything really. So people are just waiting. And that means not a lot of volume. So we're not seeing good continuation on this. Now, if we had held in this level, I think that would be a different story, because you would see people starting to accumulate long positions for this break through 100. But when we dipped down here at 7, now bullish traders are probably just thinking, well, it's below VWAP and it doesn't have enough volume. It's too far off the $100 level. I think it's better just to wait. And even short sellers might just be thinking, I don't know, the risk is too high. So CPTN, yes, I see this one. So yep, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. The volume is light on it. It was light yesterday. So anytime you have something that's light volume, you have to be a little bit more cautious. Slippage is going to be bigger, but yeah, it's worth keeping an eye on. ANGH, I'm not probably going to trade this one unless ISPO opens up. So we need ISPO to open up first. So NRGV back at 2008. Dip on NRGV, looking for the pop back up over 20. There's 2013. See if I can get up to 2015. Average is 19.99. Nice. 150 bucks. Your pivot there is around 33.50, but you've got a fairly big spread at the moment. So waiting for more volume to come in. I look at rate of change more than anything. If something squeezes up $2, $3 a share like it did yesterday, even if the volume is light, I'll still look at it, but you just have to be careful because the risk is higher. CPTN. So you could see it popped up there. But you've got these really big spreads right now. 33.77 by 35.75. So this is like 200 share positions for me. You know, it's basically would be the same as ISPO yesterday. It's interesting, but if I took 1,000 shares, I'd be risking $3,000-$4,000 on one trade. So keep it on watch. So I have it on a side chart. QNGY. Back over VWAP is what we need. So watch VWAP. 10 minutes to the bell. Let's see if we can get over 2,000 thumbs up on the YouTube broadcast. Appreciate you guys tuning in today and being here a little earlier for a longer broadcast. Last few weeks broadcasts have been pretty short because, you know, we haven't had anything moving. It's been kind of a slow couple weeks. Now we've got a little more action, a little more volatility. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. I appreciate it. Keep in mind we have a long weekend here. Markets are closed on Monday for President's Day. We do have a President's Day sale that we're running right now. So if you guys want to check that out, of course, you're welcome to. There'll be a link pinned in the comments where you guys can look at that. So you guys can see that right there, President's Day sale. Let's see. So long weekend, good opportunity to study up a little bit. So ANGH, ISPO, both down a bit. So remember, we want to kind of try to start each day at 0, as Jess says. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday, whether it was a green day or a red day. Let's just trade the market that's in front of us right now. So right now, our leading gapper is NRGV at 74%. It's a decent gapper. We've had some good action on it so far. Been a little choppy. It's interesting if it can get further up into this window, up to 2350, it's pre-market high, but it's been having a little bit of a hard time running into resistance back to the VWAP. So I've made some money on it, but most of what I made was actually quite a bit earlier on this squeeze right in here. And even there, I got in a little late, but that's okay. ISPO, this one has lighter volume, still 116,000 shares, but is worth watching over 78.50 and 80 just to see what happens. We may see halts on it again today. If it squeezes up, it makes sense to keep ANGH on watch because it's lower priced, therefore more affordable with tighter spreads. And yesterday was trading pretty directly with ISPO. They started to kind of trade in tandem. When one would squeeze, the other would squeeze. When one would drop, the other would drop. So we were getting some good action there. And then CPTN, this is sympathy from yesterday. So big squeeze yesterday, a little bit of a pullback here. You know, this is one that probably is, you know, a bit of a gamble because you had that crazy move yesterday. And if it halts going up at the open, you know, you might think, well, okay, well, could we get to $43? And if we got over 43, you've got gap from the halt down all the way to 65, right? So you could start to see that. But, you know, yesterday's move was sympathy to what was happening on ISPO. And ISPO isn't really doing a lot right now. Now, it's true that NRGV was also sympathy to ISPO. And so they sometimes start to diverge a little bit and, you know, do a little bit of their own thing. You know, so that's fine, but just don't want to walk into a bear trap or a bull trap. So just want to be cautious. Is today the day to be super aggressive? I think if it's a day to be aggressive, I think. I've already been fairly aggressive and it's paid off. But at the same time, what's in front of me right now is a little bit of a lull. We've slowed down a little bit and our GV is pulling back down. QNGY is pulling back down a little bit as well. Yeah, so those on YouTube, thank you guys for hitting a thumbs up. Appreciate that big time. If you're a Warrior Pro student, you have access to my broadcast every day. So today I start broadcasting at 7. And yesterday I was broadcasting from 8 to 4, which was a very long day, but did a broadcast the whole day. 2.5 minutes to the bell. $90 seconds to the bell. So those on YouTube, let's see if we can get to 2,500 thumbs up. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up. It's for the YouTube algorithm. Makes a huge difference. Yes, BRCC, we had that one yesterday as well. 1 minute to the bell. I probably won't trade this one again. My record was GameStop trading from 4 a.m. until about 5 p.m. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. So CPTN, spreads are a little tighter. Halt levels 34.63. Added long at 31, small size on CPTN. Let's see if we go just up to the halt level, 34.63. I can add at 34. Watching the break at 34 for 34, add at 34, there's 35. Just taking small gains on it, 1,500 share position. Wanting to take some profit going into the halt before it halts. That way I manage my risk effectively. Just small size, not going crazy. It's not the day to go crazy, not yet. So we'll just see what it does. Just remember, this is light volume, so it's risky. The spreads tightened up. So as the spreads tightened up, that's why I said, all right, I'll give it a stab. When I got in, the spread was like 70 cents, whereas pre-market it was like $3. So we'll see what it does. NRGV pulling back a little bit. Might watch for red to green. My order to add, it looks like didn't fill at 34.61. 0 shares filled. So I pressed the buy order at 34.61 and didn't fill anything. CPTN showing a $44 resumption right now. RDFN, we'll keep it on watch. Cool. Hey, Christian. ISPO, red to green. That would be a very small size position. Possibly over the high here of 68, 69. Quick long there on ISPO. Let's look for the breakthrough 70. halt level 72, 73, 72. So I'm going to look to add at 70 on ISPO. Added right there. Taking half off the table up to the halt level. These are relatively small positions. You want to make sure you pay yourself on these, and you want to be really careful not to chase these because these are volatile. Holding small size into the halt. ANGH, we should probably look at it. Halted up as well, and I missed it, right? So these trade in tandem. So if you already had it on watch, good for you. ANGH is the one that I missed. ANGH has slightly more volume, but still pretty light. Stocks hitting my scanners. QNGY needs to get over 7. BRCC, yeah, the coffee, black riffle. KPTI, squeezing a bit without me. High is 1380. So this one, 1250 to 13, it's not a recent IPO. It's not a special acquisition company. So I don't think it's going to hold up. That's just my 2 cents. But I don't think it's going to hold up and support this move. I'm going to short small size at 79 with a stop at 14. I just don't think it's going to hold that move. This is a topping tail candle. The float's a little higher on it, 71 million shares. So leave my stop at 14. I can always cover it if it pops through 14, but I don't know that it will. So I'm just going to put a live stop order, buy stop, and just leave it there. Switching back to my other account. CPTN showing a $40 resumption right now. We'll be watching resumption on CPTN. Stop, break even on the rest. Down to small size, stop at break even. Nice short. CPTN showing $39 resumption. New order at 40. CMBM. CMBM. So this one, I pretty much feel the same way. It's not a recent reverse split, so I don't trust it. Shorted 150 shares. It's easy to borrow. It's got the 200 moving average right in the way. We'll just set a tight stop on that one too. Switching back here. 26.97 on the bid. ISPO watching. Can we get a dip and rip on ISPO? Added on ISPO there for 77. Took some profit on ISPO. There's 78. So took the rest off the table. We're coming up to the 200 moving average. A little bit of resistance there. CPTN watching resumption. Watching ISPO. Possible bounce. Spreads are pretty big. About a minute to resumption on CPTN, although yesterday it had long halts. High on ISPO was 78.25. Those on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up if you haven't already done it. Makes a huge difference for the channel. I really appreciate it. Still holding small position on KPTI. But stop is break even. I'll just cover the rest of it. Oh, actually I went long. There we go. All right, so out the rest of that. Covered for small loss on CMBM. CPTN. Watching for resumption. Showing $39. 43 was our target. So watching dip and rip. Added right there for the break of 40, dip and rip. Let's see if we squeeze up to $40, 41.70. Taking a little off the table. Holding 167 shares. 43.03 is the target. ISPO. High of this candle. 78.25. So my dip on that, my dip fill was at 38. 500 shares. Nice on KPTI. CMBM. I should have stuck with it. Oh well. I didn't realize how light the volume was on CMBM. KPTI volume was better. So you're right, yesterday momentum didn't really kick in until closer to 11 a.m. That was when we really opened up here. And this move, I mean, it increased through 10:30, but then this is where things went really crazy between 11 and 1. So as I said, on a stock like CPTN, the volume is very light. This is a typical dead cat bounce with support off the ascending support line. You know, you just can't trade these with big size, unfortunately, because you've got a lot of range, but there's not enough volume to sustain big size. So you trade with smaller size, you make what you can on it. You know, your other option is just not to trade it at all and say, wow, it's not worth it. But stocks like ISPO, similarly yesterday, with small size, you know, if you get 5 points, give you a couple $100. MTech, I think I saw this one yesterday. I'm going to leave it for right now. It's a double top at yesterday's high. Some people are probably short against that level of 28. I'm just going to hold back on that. There's 25, 26 on the ask. So, you know, it's hitting the scanners, but if you look at yesterday's level, you'll realize, well, that's not a perfect chart. L-Fly. This is a recent, looks like a SPAC or a recent type of IPO. Halt level is 50. Volume's light. There's a bid at 25. So right there, I took a quick trade. I was in and out before I could even say it. So I bought at 50 and sold at 62. Just a quick trade, in and out. So by the time I said it, I was already out. You know, and that speaks to how quickly these can move. It's 180 bucks. Yep, hotkeys. Shift 1 and then for the long, and then sold on the ask. Reminder, as always, for those tuning in on YouTube, that trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money, so I encourage you to trade cautiously and don't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. Trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line. Trading is hard. Don't assume you're just going to come in here and make a ton of money. That's not realistic. You got to pay your dues and practice, practice, practice. If you guys on YouTube want me to keep streaming, please make sure you hit the thumbs up. Remember that we are having a long weekend this weekend for President's Day. So we do have a President's Day sale that we're doing right now. So if you guys want to check it out, you're welcome to. All right, there's 46, right into another halt on CPTN. So this is, if you have profit, you could always trim a little. So as you'd like, manage your risk. So right now, just waiting to see what else pops up. Now, CPTN yesterday was pretty ridiculous as well, so I don't know what it's going to do, but it's going to have to form some type of clean setup for me to consider adding after the third or fourth halt. This is the, let's see, third halt in a row. 1, 2, 3. And we know we have risk of halt down, so manage risk accordingly. GLS, yep, I see that. Nice on FSRD. Look at that. Holy smokes. How did I miss that one? Okay, I'm going to have to get dialed in on this. So I've already missed it. 3 halts in a row going up. Ah, son of a gun. Good look. Good job. All right, well, keep it on watch. GLS. I'll take a quick long on that for the break of 64. Yeah, so halt level 64, holding 4,000 shares, 44 average, taking it out at the halt level at 62. So dip trade 61, bought the dip, looking for the squeeze up. Watch over 61 to add. Added at 61, there's 79, profit. There's 90. Similar setup, right? That's the thing. So now we'll watch a dip, new order at 5. Added at 93. There's 93. Didn't realize I was going right into a halt. Taking a small loss on that. We'll watch resumption, new order at 5. So L-Fly halted up and resumed way lower. Let's watch this. Added 8. Here's the thing. Last time we had one of these, we curled all the way back up to the high. Next adds 825. Watching the add at 835 and 45 for a halt up at 865. This is L-Fly. Added at 34 and added at 40. There's 48 on the ask. Look for the breakthrough 50. Adding right here at 50 for halt up at 65. So this is that bounce and then rip back up. Watch for the break through 850 and then a squeeze up to 865 halt level. There's 855, 850, looking for 855 to break. New order at 54, watching. Added at 33 to buy the dip. Looking for that curl back through 850. Average is 29. Watching over 45 and 50. Halt level's now 9. So if this breaks through 865, we're going to look for a move up to 9. There's 33. Looking for 35 and 40 to add. There's 39. Added at 40. So added at 47. Looking for the break through 850. And then let's see if we get 860. There's 42 on the ask. Looking for my add at 47.48 to size up for that break through the $0.50. This is a 1 minute micro pullback. Bought the dip at 29. Now looking for that squeeze through 850. We'll be watching FSRD on resumption as well. These are the same setup basically. Watching at 46.47 for the add and then the squeeze through 65. There's 46, added at 47, there's 65. Can we go a little higher? 44 on the ask. 54. We've got to break through 60. Lost a little bit on that. I added too high. New orders at 65. Leaving the order at 65, can come back and buy a dip. Double top, it should have broken. So I was actively trading, taking some profit, adding back, taking profit, adding back. Added back at 17 there on a dip. We'll see if it curls back up to 35. 15 on the ask. There's 18. Yeah, I'm taking a small loss on that too. All right, FSRD, CPTN, 10-minute long halt. FSRD, watching for possible dip and rip, but it's 3 halts in a row going up, so probably just watch to see how it bases out. A little choppy. So CPTN showing a $50 resumption right now. We're going to need a pullback on it at some point. BuzzFeed, no. I think this isn't recent enough, and the institutional opinion on this, I think, is that it's not worth it. I don't mind if the float's a little higher. So we've got CPTN, you've got FSRD. FSRD resumption, so let's see, CPTN resumption should be in about 2 minutes. FSRD is going to be in a couple minutes. Sky H. GLS. Watching resumption. Orders at 5:15. So GLS is nicey stock. So I'm looking at 4 level 2s, all are halted right now. That tells you something about the market we're in, right? So I have my order at 5:35 on GLS. Opening lower, interesting. Dip at 53. Look to add at 65. Watching for a second. Let's see if we get the break over 5. Haven't added yet. Looking for 85.95 for ads. I'm just going flat on it for right now. Kind of like didn't pop up as much as I thought it should have there. I thought it should have gone right back through 5. So the thing is, when you're seeing this, it makes me a little nervous for FSRD, but we'll see. It's showing a $9 resumption right now. No, I covered KPTI. That was in my other account. So watching possible resumption on CPTN. Volume is increasing, which is good. Oh, sorry, wrong chart. So holding 5 shares right now, reduced my size. And now your high is 50. So right there is a possible long. There's a seller blocking the way. Watching for a possible long, but yeah, see, if this false halts, let's just watch this to see if it false halts. So it's a real halt. I kind of thought that might happen because of the way it happened in this area, but if it false halted, that could have been an opportunity for a bounce back up. BRCC. Yep, good job. FSRD, let's see what it does. It's already got 3 halts in a row. So we'll watch resumption on this. Hey, Kev. So people are probably going to be shorting this pretty aggressively if I was going to guess. 3 halts in a row. The last other 2 just failed. But let's see. No shares available to borrow for me. Still halted. Sky H. 3rd halt up as well. GLS. Brutal. I don't like to see those drops. Yep, GRNA. So your high was 11. So right now I'm just slowing down a little bit. It's about 10 a.m. See if we get a little lull in momentum and then it picks back up for 11 a.m. Noon time. ISPO halted up. ANGH curling up. 1850 to 2050, 2 points. Nice, Sergi. $2,100. It's a good green day. GRNA, nice curl back to 11. Bought at 11.14. Halt is 11.44. If it shows the strength to get back through those levels, let's see if it halts up at 11.50. 11.56 is the halt level. So there's 11.47. Profit for me. 56 is the halt level. Always take profit. 200,000 share seller on FSRD. Watching if that seller gets bought up for a long. Dip at 63 on FSRD. Let's see when that curls back up to 75 and 80. If it can break through that seller. Watching 75 and 85. Then the rip back through the high. So watching here for ads on FSRD. Took profit on FSRD for right now. GNRA, Sky H resumed. So we're seeing kind of this is the ebb and the flow. So the big wave up and now the curl back. Big wave up and curl back. CPTN, I almost bought at 50, but right at 50 it seemed like there was a hidden seller. I was waiting for a sign that it was about to break. Had my hand on the buy button, 250 shares. Didn't hit it. Didn't break. So the halt down is at 44.91. It's showing 36.21, 10-point gap. So last time it halted down, it sold off a little bit more. So we'll see what it does. The volume is still super light. We're getting a little choppy here. FSRD into the halt down. CPTN watching resumption. FSRD halt down was 681. CPTN showing $38 resumption. Highest volume on that red candle. That was the most trading it had. Some sell off, a little pop, then couldn't break. ISPO resumed lower. Now you're at double bottom level, 63. About a minute to resumption on CPTN. So, these are the types of days where we see these kind of exaggerated moves to the upside, exaggerated moves to the downside. It's a lot of volatility. And volatility is what we like, but it can be difficult to manage. Right now, I'm having a hard time really knowing what to focus on. I see GRNA going a little higher there, but it's just hard to know because we've seen now several halt down. So I think that as they go higher, there's not really an obvious one to focus on. CPTN, we'll watch on resumption to see how it trades. ANGH. Halted down at 1788, but is showing a 1930 resumption. I see that. But I don't know that we should expect a squeeze if it's sympathy to ISPO. But that is odd. FSRD is showing 664. Maybe we see a divergence. We'll watch. You can see Sky H. This one I didn't trade, but same kind of action. Yep, GRNA halted up there. GLS curling back up. This is a little difficult though because it's just, I'm starting to feel a little unsure about what to focus on. Too much stuff. If CPTN resumed at 45 or 50, I would absolutely look for a long through the high, but I don't think it's going to resume that high. I see 36. Well, it's not correct that it's 0, but it's correct that we don't have it. Those on YouTube watching the morning show, streaming a little longer for you, giving you guys a little more content, which I hope you enjoy. Please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. It makes a huge difference for the channel. Traders who are watching this today or even a month or a year from now, I hope you hit the thumbs up. I really hope you do. It's for the YouTube algo. ANGH opened flat. Could I dip it at 18? Yeah, stop would be like 1775, but it's on the wrong side of the, the hill. Here it's coming back down. Those on mobile on YouTube, you guys can exit out of the live chat, hit the thumbs up, and then come back in. Thank you, Michael. Nice. Nice, Lisa. Good. 1,300 bucks. That's a good day. Good for you. David, 1,200 bucks. Nice. Just holding 5 shares. CPTN. I'm not sure if we're going to see continuation over the coming days on this. I don't know. We'll see. We've been seeing, so generally we've been seeing good action on recent IPOs, sometimes recent mergers following a SPAC, which are like an IPO. And I think we'll probably continue to see that trend. What we've been seeing the last like 2 days is just anything that's a recent SPAC, traders are buying it because it looks like ISPO. And that's a wave that's going to end. That's a wave of momentum, you ride it, but it'll end. What we'll more likely see will be occasionally something like ISPO that just sort of comes out of nowhere, and maybe the stock has news. It has a reason to make a big move. You know, like, so here's this one. This one's very similar, but I don't see news on it. But in any case, it's, you know, this type of thing. All of a sudden you see something pop up and off and away it goes. So it's hard to capture all the opportunity that's in front of you on a busy day. You get as much as you can, but you will miss stuff. So FSRD, despite a huge move from 4 to 850, I only made $194 on it. L-Fly from 7 to 850, made 665 on it. GRNA halted right now at 1236. I made 700. GLS did a little better on that one. QNGY did a little better on that one. ISPO got a couple nice trades on it. CPTN did okay on that one. NRGV did quite well on that. That was an early morning where I made the most of the profit. But Sky H halting again. Yep, bouncing back up. But I don't know. We'll see. You know, how is it going to base out? How's it going to hold? I'm not sure. CPTN, I still have 5 shares from $36. Thank you. Thank you. So yesterday I gave back a little bit off the top. Today, right now, if I close up here, I'm closing pretty much at the high. So are any of these set up for a possible midday squeeze? ISPOs at the 200 moving average. NVCT pulled back too much. FSRD pulled back too much, way too much. I mean, you never know. Some of these can bounce back up, but it's so far pulled back too much. DRCT just started squeezing, but you know, the all-time high on it is 435. So it could become blue sky pretty quickly, but I don't want to. It just feels like with the others sort of selling off, I'm not sure that we're going to get opportunity. FSRD halt up is 567. CPTN resumption, if it's a 10-minute long halt, will be 10:22 and 17 seconds. So there's 306, 310 on DRCT. So going without me a little ways. So the high is 324. There's 337. There's up to 350. So, you know, sat on the sidelines on this one. Right idea. I mean, well, I guess my idea was I wasn't sure it was going to hold. A little bit of a false halt there. Okay, so this one didn't even go into a halt. Ugh. Bummer. All right, so maybe that instinct is right. CPTN would have to curl back up. Because of how volatile it is, it's probably worth keeping an eye on, but FSRD, another halt down. All the way back down. So, you know, this isn't what you love to see. So we got some good opportunities today. It wasn't as clean as yesterday. Yesterday we had ISPO, which was super obvious. I was up at my peak 90,000 yesterday. You know, this was clean. It was not perfect, but it was pretty clean. The areas where it wasn't perfect was that the spreads were pretty big. The volume wasn't high enough to be able to sustain large share size. So that made it a little tricky as well. But, you know, at the same time, it provides some good opportunities. And then that sympathy momentum on ANGH was awesome. Really nice sympathy momentum on ANGH from 12 to 36. So, you know, I was trying to stretch for 100K yesterday. I gave back some profit off the top. Today, I just broke over 50, which is a pretty big number. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't feel like there's anything to stretch on right now to try to get to 75 or 80. we would really need to see something pretty serious. And it seems like what we're seeing is these are popping and then they're rolling over quick, which is sympathy momentum. I mean, sympathy momentum is you have one stock that's strong and then you have others that are, you know, giving you sympathy. CPTN halt up, but this is sort of a dead cat bounce after a really pretty nasty flush. So I think the smart thing to do is probably to shut it down for today, come back on Tuesday, and try again. See how I do there. You know, overall, a pretty solid day. Could have always done a little bit better, but definitely missed some opportunities, but coming away green, and we'll be back at it on Tuesday. So again, those on YouTube, I hope you hit the thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. It really makes a huge difference when you guys hit the thumbs up, so thank you for that. Reminder that we do have a President's Day sale going on right now this weekend. If you decide this is a good time for you to take the leap and become a new student, we'd love to have you join. I want to remind everyone that trading is risky, that most beginner traders lose money, and that's not to say that I'm implying that beginner traders lose money, therefore you should be a student, you'll have a better chance of being successful. We don't track the typical result of our students, so we're not going to say that our students are more or less likely to be successful than the average trader. Trading is risky, hands down. If you want to check out my strategy page, you can go to warriortrading.com/strategy. This class right here you could sign up to if you wanted. It's a free class. Learn a little bit more about how I choose stocks to trade, what my criteria are. That'll help you probably understand why I chose some and why I left some out today. You can also see the syllabus for our classes, the Warrior Starter course, the Warrior Pro curriculum. Chapter 17 are where I do interviews with profitable traders. And we have 8 students right now who have verified over $1 million in profit. And I've taught thousands of traders over the years, so only 8. Now that's not to say that I'm not proud of them, because I am, but just to put it in context. But I have some interviews with them where you can hear a little bit about their experience learning to trade, what their turning points were, things like that. And this, of course, teaches you the strategy that I trade every day. So if you're interested in learning more about the markets, it seems to me to make sense to learn from someone who's proven profitable. My broker statements are on the website right down here, 2021, 2022. You can check them all out. And so I share my results with you to know, so you know the person you're learning from is credible, qualified to teach, qualified to speak about trading. And I think I am. So that's it for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Have a great long weekend. Hope to see some new students in the chat room on Monday morning or Tuesday morning. And hopefully this is the beginning of the next round of momentum. Yesterday was hot. Today was hot. So that's over $100,000 in 2 days for me. And that now exceeds certainly my expectation for the week. I'm very happy about that. All right, so trade smart, be cautious, and we'll be back at it on Tuesday.